Hi guys, I'm back with another review, and I was inspired to do this review because recently I was forced to go back to the drugstore with the realization that, well, let's say I didn't lose my tan because I never really had a tan. I can tan, I don't get very dark, and I had to purchase a lighter foundation. None of the foundations I had were light enough for me for right now, and I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I don't know if they're oxidizing on me or if I just got that pale again. But the shade I was using, or was attempting to use, were actually two. One is the Revlon Colorstay, the regular Colorstay for dry skin in 180 Sand Beige, and the one I'm reviewing today, which is the whipped line, and I'm just going to do a comparative review between the regular and the whipped version. The shade I was trying that day that was too dark was 220 Nude. At the time, during the summer and peak summer, this was working for me when I had a so-called tan. I was forced to get a new shade, and I went to, just for simplicity's sake, purchase a new one of the regular Colorstay, and the 110, obviously the lightest shade, is way too light for me, and the one right between this shade and the lightest shade looked not just too light, but it just didn't work for me. Because of that, I didn't like any of the shades. I decided to go a shade down in the whipped line because I've been really liking that as well. And this shade hit the nail on the head, and it's 200 Sand Beige. So it's also Sand Beige, but a little bit different shade than this Sand Beige. You can even see the difference in the jar. You may ask, if you have not tried the whipped line, what are the differences? My biggest complaint overall with any liquid foundation, not just the Revlon Colorstay, is that when you're pouring it out, you really do sometimes, I guess, pour out too much product. And you can be more careful, but the fact of the matter is also the liquid foundations are absorbed more readily into whatever sponge that you're using, if that's how you apply your foundation. And that's most often than not how I apply mine. I use a sponge. If you're asking what sponge this is, it's not the Beauty Blender, it's not the Ulta one. I forgot. So I will do some research. I've had this for quite a while and I forgot the brand name, but it's an off brand. I think it was $7. Really like it. It is a lot more comparable to the actual Beauty Blender, and that's why I really like it, and I love the shape of it. It's really cool. That is really my biggest complaint of this foundation. Overall, I would say the Revlon Colorstay foundation line is the most widely purchased and notorious foundation at the drugstore. So everybody knows about this foundation. It's been around for a long time, and I don't see it going anywhere anytime soon. I expected, high quality from the whipped version, and I would have to say that it is an improvement, in my opinion, on the regular foundation line. I don't like the packaging. I mean, I like it, but I don't. It's just a bit bulky and it is pretty heavy, and I mean, that's a lot of glass. It's almost like you're paying for a glass jar instead of the product. But it's like this, and you have this little cap here, and there's the product. And just for reference, to show you how much of the darker shade I've used. So again, I have used this a lot. In my opinion, what makes this a superior product over the Colorstay line, though I like both, these are minor improvements in my opinion, and has more actual volume to it. You're not losing product into your sponge, or you have more control with whatever applicator you're using to apply to your face. You may be concerned a little bit about contamination. I would be as well. Just be very careful. Use clean fingers every time you apply it to your face if you're using your fingers. Clean sponge, clean brush. Just, use common sense. Because it's whipped and there's air in the product, air introduced to it, you're having just a smoother application overall. Here are all three swatched. This is the obvious regular Revlon Colorstay in 180 Sand Beige. This one being a little bit lighter, 220 Nude, and then this is 200 Sand Beige. Here are the two blended a little bit. So this is the regular and this is the whipped. The whipped is just a bit creamier and a bit smoother, as you can see. The other pro for me personally, it may not be the same experience for you, is the color selection. The wear of it is the same, in my opinion, It has the same finish, at least for the dry. I would say this is more of the dry formulation, not the oily combination formulation version, because there are two versions in this line. There's just one in this. Overall, I really recommend this product. I love the Revlon Colorstay line. It is something, in my opinion, you cannot go wrong with. It is so widely loved and widely known, and can't say enough good things. Alright guys, I hope you found this review helpful, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Say hi. Yeah, it's a good boy.